talk about songs and perfect reading. I love how things go together. So we started about with the prayer for peace and about creating safety. So, and then of course the Imagine song is imagine that we can be that in the world. That we're really joining with each other, but mostly we're joining with our own self to create a safety in the world, to create a different way of being here. And then of course the script, the reading for today was joy, and it's just so perfect because it happens to be the three things I'm already going to talk about. So I thought that was pretty good. So Mike and I were able to go to a wonderful concert at the Longstaff House a couple of weeks ago, and the guy's name is Greg Blake, and he's really a phenomenal bluegrass singer and player, probably one of the best in the nation, and just happened to be popping through Missoula, and we caught on to it. But one of his deals in life, he was a minister for 30 years. And I didn't catch that until after I read the CD that I got. And so when I was listening to this CD, and I didn't have time this week to be able to sing it to you, but I want to be able to share this with you because I think it's so fitting with imagination. And so this is sung by Greg Blake, and it's called From Me to We. Well, the news comes on TV with opinions close behind. Before too long, we're arguing about who has lost their mind. We're talking without listening, both convinced we're right. Lately, it seems like anything, it's just another reason to fight. How did we get to where we are? And how do we get back? Can we bridge this great divide and call off the attack? If we're ever going to get along and be all that we can be, we don't have to see eye to eye. We need to change from me to we. All across this great big world, the battle lines are drawn, more concerned with right or left than what is right or wrong. Egos getting in the way, we all pay the cost. Taking sides while worlds collide, the truth is slowly lost. How did we get to where we are, and how do we get back? Can we bridge this great divide and call off the attack? If we're ever going to get along and be all that we can be, we don't have to see eye to eye. We just need to change from me to we. We do not have to see eye to eye. We need to change from me to we. And in my imagination, someday I'm going to sing it to you. Not today. So that just really speaks to the unity principles of goodness, and seeing goodness and seeing a way to unify, to seeing and knowing in a felt sense way, not just an intellectual way, that we're one. And that by coming more from a place in our behavior and our thoughts and in the way we reverence our lives, that everything we do to establish the kingdom of heaven is about oneness and about goodness. And I was thinking a lot lately about what if I don't have to figure things out? Because I'm pretty intellectual and I like to figure things out. And I think I'm very smart sometimes. And I think I should figure things out. But how exhausting that is, trying to figure everything out. And what if the only thing for myself or for us, for all of us, is that we just have to show up and be a loving presence? What if that's it? What? It could be that easy. And so I was kind of crunched for time this week, and I came up with just some examples from my own life where I could embody that and where I was way off the mark. Okay, so this is just a brief snippet of Evy here. So I was going down Orange Street, and a guy made a left-hand turn in front of me. And I apologize to book group, they already heard the story. But okay, so I'm going down the street, and this guy makes a right turn right in front of me, and literally it was the cram on the brakes business. Okay, so I honked the horn. I got scared, I did a fear picture, and I blared the horn, and there it goes. Okay, so he's really, really close to me coming around again. He's flipping me off. Okay, and I can tell by the wrath in his face what he was saying, and it matched his gesture. Okay, so okay, then I'm settling down, and I'm going down the street, and I go, whoa, I just created what I didn't want to create. I got so trapped up in the fear picture that this was terrible that I created exactly what I didn't want to experience, because he slimed me a good one with that energy. He was really mad at me. Okay, so it's like, whoa. And thank God my reflexes are still pretty decent. And so I actually wasn't in physical distress because my brakes in the car were good. But it's like, boy, in those instantaneous things where we're being drawn into fear pictures, it's like, how fast can we get back to, no, really, that's not what I meant to create. I didn't mean to do that. And so, so that's that little story. So another fear picture I had with my husband is after we lost our old dog, we decided we had to get a new dog because we have lots of unhoused people and lots of foot traffic by our house. The Poverello's a block and a half from our house. So in my imagination, I was thinking, oh, gotta get a dog that barks and runs at the fence to keep people moving. Because, you know, that's how I imagined I would be protected. I would be protected if I had a dog. Bark at the fence and keep people moving. But that's not what happened. Universe provided me with a big black lab who just absolutely believes that everybody in the world's her friend and that she was just really cute. So, but what literally happened is people lean over the fence and pet her. Okay, a lady showed up on Christmas Eve with dog bones from the market saying, please, lady, can I give your dog bones for Christmas? Because I love your dog. I really love your dog. So what I considered that I needed for safety was exactly what I didn't need. I needed connection to people coming past so they felt safe. I needed to be the one creating safety. So now when I'm out in the yard gardening and stuff and people are yelling over the fence, well, where's your dog? I don't see your dog. They don't say hi to me. They say, lady, where's your dog? I want to say hi to your dog. And so it's like, I say, Riley, come here, your friends are here. They want to say hi to you. But by equating the people that want to engage my dog with, oh, your friends are here, they feel safe. They feel safe coming past my house. So that my dog is my spiritual advisor and is teaching me about, I had the wrong idea about safety. And when I walk with my dog, everybody loves my dog. We talk about my dog, we talk about their dog, and it's an automatic connection piece. There's a real sweet man in an electric wheelchair that's close to our house, and when he sees this dog, he just starts laughing. And he's had a stroke, and so he's aphasic and he can't talk, but he can laugh and he can pet my dog with one hand. And I think, whoa, she's the ambassador in the neighborhood for peace. And so my imagination of how I was trying to protect myself isn't truth. It's not truth. And so my advisor keeps telling me that. So in ways that I did imagine safety is during COVID, I was bored silly because I couldn't go out and do a bunch of music stuff that I, regularly did. And so I started creating angel panels for my front porch, and they're folkish art and they're silly. They look like they're dancing. And there's 16 panels. So I made up a whole bunch of colors in my imagination. And I was busy during COVID just making those and getting put in place in the small panes in the front window. So the front is just all filled with these dancing angels. And so I was being a silly. And so on Facebook, I said, look at my new security system. So, which is just a panel, a bunch of bright colored angels. And I said that on Facebook, and I thought, oh, I'm clever, and I thought that was funny. And then I said, no, really, that is my prayer, that I'm safe. And if you ever come to my house, you'll see how many angels are in the garden, because I just really believe in that. And so I had confirmation of that months and months later, when this very disheveled woman came up to me when I was getting into my car in the driveway, and she said to me, well, lady, this is my safe house. And I said, well, good. Well, that's good. That's a certain safe house. And she says, yeah, I stand by your window. Those angels are my safety. And so it's like, what I put on as a flippant thing on Facebook about my security system became that in the greater community. And she may not even remember she ever said that she got disheveled. But for that moment in time, she understood that there was safety there for her. And so how important that is in our imagination to be creating more and more safety. And then for the last story I'm going to say for this part of the talk is that there was some chaos in my neighborhood, and the neighbors were partying literally all night till 5 in the morning, literally and loud and kind of crazy. And this other neighbor came up and was knocking on the garage window, and I was out there creating another big stained glass angel. And I was out there soldering in the garage, and she was banging on the window, and she was panicked. And I came around to talk to her, and she was telling me that she wanted me to go to the police, that she wanted me to tell off the neighbor for partying all night and that it wasn't safe, and I kept trying to calm her down, and then the more I could calm her down about the neighborhood not being safe, that I kept just talking to her. Then she got into her fear pictures because her daughter had been raped after a party. And so it flashed to her, even though it didn't wasn't about this party, it was about another thing in her life. And so she was just panicked, and she kept telling me I had to go to the police. I had to report this, I had to, and I said, I can't do that. That's not my way of being in this neighborhood. I make angels, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back to making my angel now because I'm in the process of doing that. And she was so mad at me because I couldn't play into her fear picture. And I think it's so profoundly important for all of us to create more boundaries against fear pictures coming into our field. And so I just really, even though she was very angry at me when she got off and went on her bicycle and went away, that I was making a deliberate choice in my neighborhood that I'm not the one running to the police. I'm not the one telling off my neighbor. I'm the one that's gonna create a different way of being in my neighborhood. I'm gonna talk nice to my neighbors the next time I see them. In fact, I'm gonna tell them if he parties again like that, I'm gonna come down and join him because I can't sleep. That's what I decided. But anyway, so these examples of when I didn't do so good in my imagination and the times that I really held my own and was able to say no in my imagination to those fear pictures. So I want to go now to the Urantia book. So I want to read just a little bit about the goodness of God. In the physical universe, we may see divine beauty. In the intellectual world, we may discern eternal truth. But the goodness of God is found only in the spiritual world of personal religious experience. Goodness is the true essence. Religion is faith, trust in the goodness of God. God could be great and absolute, somehow even intelligent and personal in philosophy, but in religion, God must also be moral, must be good. Man might fear a great God, but he trusts and loves only a good God. The goodness of God is part of the personality of God, and its full revelation appears only in the personal religious experience as believing sons and daughters of God. So that is so unity, that God is good and present everywhere, that we are naturally good because we are of that. We are naturally good. And then I want to go to another reading. And this one you've heard a lot. It's from the Beatitudes. But I think it just really pulls together imagination and what we're trying to create here. And so in the divine matter, there is beauty, truth, and goodness. And so we're all about opening that part of us that already knows that and is already that. That is, goodness is not separate from ourselves. And we're in such a world now that wants to create such fear pictures and control and manipulate through fear pictures and conspiracy theories and this and that. And we have such a good opportunity to practice because we're going into another election cycle. So we're going to get lots of practice. Okay, so I'm going to read about the sermon. Jesus spoke, saying, "Now that you are ambassadors of my Father's kingdom, you have thereby become a class of men and women separate and distinctive from all others on earth. You are not now men among men, but as enlightened citizens of another heavenly community among ignorant creatures of this dark world. It is not enough that you live as you were before this hour, but henceforth we must live as those who have tasted the glories of a better life and have been sent back to earth as ambassadors of the sovereign of that new and better world. Of the teacher, more is expected than of the pupil. Of the master, more is exacted than of the servant. Of the citizens of the heavenly kingdom, more is required of us than the citizens of the earthly rule. Some of the things which I'm about to say to you may seem hard, but you have elected to represent me in the world, even as I now represent the Father. As my agents on earth, you will be obligated to abide in those teaching and practices which are reflective of my ideals of mortal living on the world of space, and which I exemplified in my earthly life of revealing the Father who is in heaven. I send you forth to proclaim liberty to spiritual captives, joy to those who have been in the bondage of fear, to heal the sick in accordance with the will of my Father in heaven. When you find my children in distress, speak encouragingly to them, saying, happy are the poor in spirit, the humble, for theirs is the treasures of the kingdom of heaven. Happy are they who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Happy are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Happy the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And even so, speak to my children further in this world of spiritual comfort and promise. Happy are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Happy are they who weep, for they shall receive the spirit of rejoicing. Happy are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Happy are the peacemakers, for they shall be called daughters and sons of God. Happy are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Happy are you when men shall revile you and persecute you and say all manner of evil against you falsely. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. Then it goes on and on and on. This is a lovely passage, but that we are the salt of the earth. We are the flavoring that makes this life good. That we are the light of the world, that we can't hide who we are. That we are ambassadors to proclaim glad tidings. I say to you, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, and pray for those who despise you. And whatsoever you believe that you would do to them, you do also to them. The Father makes the sun shine on evil as well as the good. Likely he sends rain on the just and the unjust. You are sons of the divine. We are ambassadors. Be merciful. So I was really glad that those reminders fit perfectly with the three attributes that I see as the expressions of God, which are beauty, truth, and goodness. And I'm so thankful to be a part of this congregation and to be able to share and to be able to profess that we're about goodness, that we're here because of that. We're not here out of some fear punishment stories. That in the imagination that we can get beyond our conditioning to become more and more of who we already are. So lots of thoughts. So let's take those thoughts into a little meditation here now. Imagine that we're already that which we seek. To imagine that we're already the beauty, truth, and goodness of what we're to create in this lifetime. And in my imagination, I made up a song a long time ago, and it's a chant. And so just sink into it, and you'll understand it as I go along. Om Namah Namah. Om Namah. Om Namah. Om Namah. We don't we don't we don't know. allowing those thoughts to fill our beingness. And Great Blake's words, we don't have to see eye to eye. We just need to change from me to we. We all are one. Amen. And gently make your way back to the room. So, thank you. Let us say our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is and all is. Now, I'd ask you to please stand now and somebody be sorry.